October 2nd, 2024, 6:30 p.m. This is a public meeting in the Zoom format, and all votes will be taken on roll call vote. Public may join the meeting from a PC, Mac, iPad, and numerous devices by going to the town website, and the URL is posted. There are a few things. There are two public hearings, as well as a planned Coastal Research Center presentation. The Coastal Research Center presentation will be next month. They will be delayed, and they can't fit into the schedule. So I'd like to open up the meeting. Roll call those who are present. Elizabeth Kirkpatrick.
Elizabeth Kirkpatrick present.
Marcia Lewis.
Marcia Lewis here.
Paul Schubert present. We are in open meeting now. The first item on the agenda is a public hearing to review the proposed rental regulations. And let me see here. Yep. So I would ask either Marcia or Elizabeth to read the notice of the public hearing for the Cohasset Board of Public Health. The first one, which is the rental inspection.
Sure. So Elizabeth here will read the legal notice, notice of public hearing, Cohasset Board of Public Health. The Cohasset Board of Public Health will hold a public hearing on Wednesday, October 2nd, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. virtually via Zoom webinar to review a proposed rental inspection regulation. The proposed regulation will require all rental units to be inspected annually or after tenant turnover, whichever occurs first. The proposed regulation is available for review on the Board of Public Health page on the town's website at www.cohassetmass.org/190/public-health-department. The public is welcome to attend in the Zoom hearing using the login information available on the agenda that will be posted on the town of Cohasset's website, or submit their input in writing by emailing Pam Fahey at cohassetmass.gov prior to the hearing. Signed, Cohasset Board of Public Health, AD number 10568348, and PL number or date is September 17th, 2024.
So the hearing has been legally posted according to the laws of the Commonwealth. The public has been notified. They're encouraged to put in their comment. So I'll open it up to the board. The public health items that are here. I'll let Pam kind of just quickly go through what we have before us. Pam? I think you're on mute.
So this all came about with numerous complaints coming from one particular housing development in town that has rentals. It's the largest rental facility in the town with about 255 units. And there were claims of discrimination, like people in not lower income, but affordable housing units being discriminated and putting in on one place within the facility where they're supposed to be like randomly dispersed throughout. There were claims of things like water damage not being repaired, rodents, infestations, problems with HVAC systems, and all not really being fixed in a timely manner. So that led us to, well, how can we actually get up there and get eyes on the place and make sure that there is no discrimination going on there and tenants are being treated fairly. So there are several towns in Massachusetts that have this similar type reg that do regular inspections This particular Cohasset regulation was based off of primarily the regulation that they have in Hull and Weymouth. And so now it's developed so that we can annually get in and inspect every unit and make sure that they're all up to the state sanitary code. And it's not the building code, it's the state sanitary code for health. So that's to make sure that things like everybody has hot water and the right number of electrical units and smokes and carbon monoxide and you know, there isn't water damage in a place, or there isn't anything that could cause like health issues. So one of the things that our attorney recommended too is that if you decide to adopt these regs tonight, to make them actually go into effect on January 1st, that's something to think about, because we kind of have to get the infrastructure and set up in place. We have to find all the landlords in town, and we have to get the inspectional software, the permitting software, have to get that set up, and send out notices to landlords and maybe even realtors to find landlords. And so it's going to probably take us 90 days to get up and running. So, you know, think about maybe January 1st of putting this into effect.
Okay, great. So again, this is not, I don't believe this is onerous to the land tenants. It's a way to kind of screen for significant health code violation, basically, and protects both the landlords and the leasees or the lessees who are in the given properties. I think you're right, though. I think the timing probably is going to take a little time to incorporate into just the general understanding of what is required and the timing. I think one of the things we can always do, we can, as this rolls out, if something comes up that's very onerous or peculiar, we can always come back to these regulations and again revise them. So that's kind of where this is kind of the first round through, and I suspect they'll be modified over the course of time. Any comments from the board?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I think the key thing is going to be the question of the timing of the implementation. Pam, do you think January 1st would be a reasonable timeframe?
I do.
Okay.
I think that would be reasonable.
And so what we could probably do is send out some, you know, flyers to the realtors, to the to some of the larger landlords, and
Mhm.
let people know that this is going to be, incorporated into the bylaws and the certifications for residential property in the town. Again, this is not anything terribly new, except the town. I mean, it's not new in the region. It's been available in several towns. So this is not a out of the blue. This is more of kind of just codifying our ability to kind of make sure things are upstanding in town.
Mhm.
So I think that what I would probably do is I'd ask for a motion to accept the certification of rental property regulations as presented tonight to be implemented January 1st, 2025, provided there's no interim legal challenges or anything like that. Is there a motion?
Elizabeth?
Sure, I'll make a motion to approve the certificate of rental property regulation as presented tonight on October 2nd, 2024.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor, I'll roll call vote. Elizabeth Kirkpatrick,
Elizabeth Kirkpatrick, aye.
Marcia Lewis,
Marcia Lewis, aye.
and Paul Schubert, aye. The motion passes unanimously. And there are no dissenting votes. So I guess it's a matter of just getting this up and running. and understand, well, we'll probably readdress it. I would think probably after a couple of months, it's up and running to see if there are any hurdles or anything that comes up that may need to be adjusted. But as of now, I think we can probably send out the flyers and the informational status that we're going to do this January 1st.
Yeah, Pam, did you get any public comment written submitted?
Any comment? And, I feel like it was well publicized where, we had the joint meeting with the select board and there hasn't been any comments, so should be okay. So I think the
Okay.
copy that I sent to you guys does not say to be implemented beginning January 1st. So I'm gonna revise that tomorrow and then I'll send it out to you and you can sign it tomorrow. Can you all send, can you all scan? Like I could
Yes.
have Dr. Schubert sign and scan and then, Elizabeth and then Marcia, something like that, and send it to each other. So you can sign and date it October 3rd, but to be, I forget what the actual sentence is, to be implemented on January 1st or to be effective January 1st.
Okay, so I'll volunteer to sign it first,
Okay,
scan my copy, send it to Elizabeth, and she can scan the copy with both our signatures on it, and then we'll send that to Paul.
okay, sounds good,
That's
thank
it.
you.
I mean, I'm actually around this week, so I can come down to town hall and sign it as well.
Okay.
I'm not sure if there's electronic signature I can do, but that would be perfect. Excellent.
Okay, great, thank you. So we want to
Um,
close that public hearing. And then
So
we gotta-
we're gonna close the public hearing. We will have to vote on this but I'd like to close the public hearing on the Board of Health for the proposed rental inspection regulation. Is there is there a vote? Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
Sure,
Yes,
I'll make
make a-
oh,
Go ahead,
oh.
Elizabeth.
Thanks. Okay, sure, I'll make a motion to close the public hearing on the rental regulation.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor, Elizabeth,
Elizabeth Kirkpatrick, aye.
Marcia?
Marcia Lewis, aye.
Paul Schubert, aye. Motion passes unanimously. We're in, currently now in the public meeting for the Board of Health, and I'd ask that we go to the public hearing to amend the Cohasset Supplemental Title V regulations. It has been posted legally, and I'd ask that Marcia, if you can read the notice of the public hearing for the Board of Health for the Zoom webinar for Title V.
Yes. Legal notice of public hearing, Cohasset Board of Public Health. The Cohasset Board of Public Health will hold a public hearing on Wednesday, October 2nd, 2024 at 6:40 p.m. virtually via a Zoom webinar to consider amending Cohasset Supplemental Rules and Regulations to Title V. The proposed amendment will eliminate the requirement that all systems that require pumping must be pressure dosed. The public is welcome to attend the Zoom hearing using login information available on the agenda that will be posted on the Town of Cohasset website, or submit their input in writing by emailing pfahey, F-A-H-E-Y, @cohassetma.gov prior to the hearing. Signed, Cohasset Board of Public Health, AG number 105-69515, PL 09-18-2024.
So we now have the public hearing open. It's been legally posted and it has been publicly verified to be asked for any input. So I'll leave it up to Pam. There's also, I think Phil Spath is here as well.
Right,
So
I
I'll-
invited Phil Spath, who's professional engineer with over 40 years of experience, builds design systems. He is currently also our inspector for Title V installations. And I'll let Phil explain maybe, what this was about and why it's really no longer necessary. And I'll share my screen and pull up that piece that we want to consider eliminating. So Phil, I invite you to join us.
can just identify yourself and then the floor is yours. I think you're on mute.
Yeah, Phil, you're on mute. Let me see. Bill, can you unmute your phone? There we go.
Okay,
There we
can you
go.
hear me?
Yep.
Okay,
can, great.
I can't see you, but I can hear you.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Phil, if you can, this is Paul Schubert, the chairman of the Board of Public Health. If you can just identify yourself and then
Yeah.
the floor is yours, just to
Okay.
describe what we plan on discussing tonight.
My name is Phil Spath, I'm a professional engineer and have worked with Pam over the last 3 or 4 years doing inspections and Board of Health issues. And she had asked me to come in and we had talked about the supplemental regulations concerning pressure dosing. Right now, under the supplemental regulations in Cohasset, it states that all systems that require pumping have to be pressure dosed. And the state regulations require anything, design flow of anything above 2,000 gallons per day has to be pressure dosed. So the issue of pressure dosing these smaller systems, meaning mainly residential, up to 2,000 gallons a day, they get expensive to install them, and the smaller systems aren't really having too much problems with getting wastewater into the ground. So what we looked at is just see if we can just eliminate that and go to just by Title V. Because again, Title V has it in their regulations that anything over 2,000 gallons a day have to be pressure dosed. And roughly that's mainly commercial sites and stuff like that. And that's about the bag of worms right there. Try to save the residents some money, not if you have to pump the system, not have to do a pressure dosing system.
Okay, thanks. So what this hearing would discuss is that the dosing chambers and pumps that you see, that would be removed because it would default to the Title V regulation from the state. And this is a means to, since there's not been trouble with these smaller systems, and if there are, we address it. This would allow for the smaller system to not have to go through that regulation.
Right. Yeah, just go by Title V.
Yeah. So this is kind of puts it more towards the state level and the and the state requirements as opposed to individual. Again, the Board of Health does have the ability to go in and if there's a problem, individual items and septic system we can inspect as well. So this does not obviate our abrogate our authority there as well.
No, not at all. Yep.
So any questions from the board? Okay. Pam, were there any questions from the public or any notes that were sent in?
No, we did not receive any. I think this is all, I should also point out too, so this was the one variance from the local regs that we were getting consistently. That's kind of why it made me look into it. And I talked to Phil and other people, other engineers, and they just kind of all thought like it's overreach, that the design engineer knows what they're doing. They should be able to make this decision. And it was really kind of costing the public money that really wasn't necessary.
Okay. So at this point, is there a consensus that this is a reasonable approach to remove those regulations from the board?
Yes.
And I ask for a motion to accept the regulations as amended tonight for the Title V supplement. Is there a motion?
Yes, I'll make a motion to accept the regulations as amended tonight, and this concerns Title V of the State Environmental Code.
Is there a second?
I second.
Roll call vote. Marcia,
Marcia Lewis, I.
Elizabeth,
Elizabeth Kirkpatrick, aye.
and Paul Schubert, aye. Passes unanimously. No nay votes. At this point, I would ask for a motion to close the public hearing. Is there a motion to close the public hearing for the Board of Health for the special supplemental rules and regulations Title V?
Yes, I'll make a motion to close the public hearing about the supplemental regulations for Title V.
Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor? Marcia,
Marcia Lewis, I.
Elizabeth,
Elizabeth Kirkpatrick, aye.
Paul Schubert, aye. Passes unanimously. The meeting, the hearing rather, is closed, and now we're back to our regular meeting. So I think in our public meeting, we'll kind of make this tidy and put a bow around it. I'd ask for a motion to accept the proposed rental regulations as presented to the Board of Health. Since we have to vote in public meeting, to accept the proposed rental regulations as presented tonight, October 2nd. Is there a motion?
Yes, I'll make a motion to accept the proposed rental property regulations as presented tonight in the public hearing for the town of Cohasset on October 2nd, 2024.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Elizabeth
Elizabeth Kirkpatrick, aye.
and Marcia
Marcia Lewis, I.
and Paul Schubert, aye. Pass unanimously. And I'd ask for a motion to approve the amendment to the Cohasset Supplemental Title V regulations as presented in the public hearing to the Board of Health. Is there a motion?
Yes, I'll make a motion to accept the amendments to the Cohasset Supplemental Title V regulations as presented in the public hearing tonight.
Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor? Marcia,
Marcia Lewis, I.
Elizabeth,
Elizabeth Kirkpatrick, aye.
Paul Schubert, aye. Passes unanimously. It seems like a little bit of paperwork, but it has to be okayed in the meeting after the hearing is done. So next up was the coastal research, but that's on hold probably till next month. And go to the approval of the minutes from September 4, 2024. Is
Can I
there a
just
motion?
Can I just, sorry, can I just ask a question?
Sure.
We have to sign it as we did for the other proposal. Is that correct, Pam?
Yes.
Yes, I'll send them both out.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, because they're both kind of independent hearings, so each one has their own signatures. Yeah.
Thanks.
And I think we'll probably, again, readdress as time goes on to see how it works with the rental regulations. I'm hopeful that this is not going to be too onerous, and it's going to be a kind of a nicer way to make sure things are okay in the town. And it's another way to kind of inspect to make sure properties are, following the federal guidelines for housing, which I think is important for the town. So let's go to the approval of the minutes from September 4, 2024. Is there a motion? Or I should say, is there any discussion?
No.
Okay. Is there a motion for approval of the minutes September 4, 2024? Board of Public Health, Cohasset.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from September 4th, 2024 from the Cohasset
Is there,
Board.
is there a second?
I second.
All in favor, Marcia,
Marcia Lewis, I.
Elizabeth,
Elizabeth Kirkpatrick, aye.
Paul Schubert, aye. Motion passes unanimously. There are no votes. Next up is the next meeting date. So what does it look like? What's good for everybody here? Oh, I
Yes.
should ask, is still the virtual still okay to do?
Yes.
Everyone's in favor, but yeah, it's fortunate because I would be not able to attend tonight. I'd be in quarantine from here and
Yeah.
someone else have to run the meeting. So in November, let me just grab my phone and see what we got in November. I don't have my call schedule yet, so I don't know about November, but I can easily get around that.
Maybe Wednesday or Thursday of that week, not election night.
Oh, yeah, so 5th is is the election night, so yeah, we can't have any meeting on that night, so 6 or 7, is that?
Yeah, either one.
Could we
works
look,
for me.
could we look forward to the following week?
Sure could, yep.
That works.
So I think, I'm not sure, is November 11th a town holiday? It's Veterans Day,
Yeah, it's a Veterans
Okay.
Day.
so it'd be the 12th or the 13th?
Either is fine for me.
The 13th would be better for me. Possibility.
Okay. Pam, 13th?
No, you know what? There's an annual conference I have to go to. That's Wednesday, Thursday, the 13th and 14th. I could do Tuesday, the 12th.
Okay, I could do Tuesday. There's a chance that I won't be able to make it, but hopefully.
Or we could do the 15th, that's kind of a Friday, I'm not sure what's a Friday.
Oh, okay.
No.
Let's try it for the
okay.
12th.
All right, so we'll tentatively book it for the 12th. But there's the quorum is 2, so that's fine. If you don't make it, I'm pretty sure I can make it, and if Marcia makes it, then that would be a quorum. So
Okay.
we'll book it for the 12th.
Mhm.
And what time's good is 6 PM okay?
Yeah, I mean, I'm flexible. I mean, Elizabeth, if I could even do it at 7 if, that would accommodate you better.
No, let's stick with 6, and I'll just see if driving kids around if someone else can do it.
Okay.
I'm sorry, the 6th or the 12th?
The 12th, 6 PM
Oh,
6 PM
okay.
on the 12th.
Okay, November 12th, 6 PM.
Yep.
Okay, good. Yep, that'll work. And if not, we can always move it around time-wise, or we can move around date-wise. Okay, I'm not around the Thanksgiving. I'll be away, so that won't work for me later in the month, but that's probably not a problem. Next up is the Public Health Director's Report.
Let's see, so we had a meeting this week that went pretty well with our Public Health Excellence Group. One of the things that we haven't really been able to agree upon is like this community health needs assessment. We're supposed to be sending out a survey. And the first pass, we realized was way too long. I mean, nobody's gonna want to do a 20-minute long survey. So we had a lot of back and forth what to do about it. And luckily we kind of finally came up with some consensus about like, what is our goal here? And we kind of all realized that mental health is a really, really big issue. And so ultimately we would like to get some more help in that regard, like more social worker help maybe. And that's going to be a tough push with this grant because we already probably have more social work help than any other group. But if we could do this community health needs assessment and, the data overwhelmingly shows that that's kind of like one of the major issues between the 3 towns, then hopefully it could help us meet that goal at some point. So I think we're finally getting closer to what we really want to have in this survey. And so hopefully that'll be resolved sooner than later, because that's been out there for a long time. But anyway, that's my big hot button issue for this week.
Okay, great. Any questions? Okay. So next up is the public health nurse report.
Oh, and Joni's out on vacation this week.
Oh, okay. So I guess the one thing that come up a couple times is how long do you worry about the EEE? And I think it's until the first hard freeze. I don't think we've had a freeze yet. And I think a hard freeze has to be, I think it's under 30 degrees for X number of hours. There is a definition of it. I don't know what it is, but it's a certain length of frozen ground for X number of hours to kill the mosquitoes. So just be cautious, be wary if you're outdoors after in the evening. Make sure the bug spray is available, and long sleeve shirts, long pants, things like that.
Right.
And
Oh, and our flu clinics are next week. I forgot to mention that. I have to say attendance is down a little bit, and I wonder if it's because so many people, older people especially, were loyal to Mary Goodwin. Hopefully, hopefully more people will just walk in. We'll see, because it's Monday and Tuesday, and we're doing okay, but we could be doing better in terms of the number of people who have signed up. We're gonna have the town manager's report included again this Friday. Hopefully that will get a few more people to come. We'll see. But if you
Have
know
you
anybody,
have you advertised it the same way you always have?
I think so, yeah. It was it's been really pushed at the senior center, because that's usually our biggest clientele, but maybe we can round people up on Monday. I mean, yeah, Monday and Wednesday. Yeah, see what happens. If you know anybody who needs a flu shot, push them our way Monday and Wednesday.
Thank
I
you.
already got mine.
Yeah.
excellent. And it also seems to match up with the what is circulating in the community as well. So it's a good match. It should be a good match this year.
Mhm.
Any other questions from the board? Okay. So I don't have any topics reasonably anticipated by the chair 40 hours in advance of the meeting. So I just want to thank everyone for the two public hearings. It's a little more involved than just a meeting, and the public hearing has to be posted and all those things, but they both went smoothly, which is good. And that should, I think, help us down the road. So at this point, I'd ask for a motion to adjourn. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
I second.
And all in favor, Marcia
Marcia Lewis, aye.
and Elizabeth,
Elizabeth Kirkpatrick, aye.
Paul Schubert, aye, and the motion passes unanimously. I'll see you next week, and I hope I'm feeling better.
I hope you are too.
Get well, yeah.
All
Good
right,
luck with the
take care.
COVID. All right,
Thanks.
bye.
Bye.
Thanks.